Hey, I'm Pops. Secret Invasion, Episode 3. Betrayed. Yep. You feeling betrayed? Exasperated? Exhausted? Apathetic? Frustrated? Angry? It's it's a little tricky to have the right kind of emotion. I don't even want to talk about the episode except just to go through it because it's sort of so full of like okay, it's going to be Andor. It's Andor all over again in the sense of there's good stuff in here. It's just wrapped up in crap and takes too long to get to. Like everything is just too much. So it's going to be 6 episodes. So you figure this is 40 minutes. So let's just say that's 240 minutes. So I got a feeling we could probably rip a good 2 hour movie out of this. Now, I didn't say it was a good 2 hour movie, but it could be okay. I feel like I could pull a 2.5 star movie out of this because I have on episode 3. I think I could make this into 2 episodes, maybe even more. Like, uh, I don't even know. There's not action. There's nothing happening. Is the problem? There's just so much walking, talking, sitting, and talking. Okay. Okay. The beginning of this is just so frustrating. We waste this time with this intro about why did you become a rebel with the not Dave Chappelle kid right here on the left, and they're basically sitting on a mission, and then we have Gravik walking around, and he's saying we've got this plan. We're infiltrating 3 of ours into this naval base for this attack. So the three of them are Skrulls. They're going to go in. They're going to pretend to be naval officers. I want you to notice the scene because it plays out pretty much as you would expect, except that because it's just his narration. Where'd he go? There we go. Okay. So right after this sequence, they have the truck shot where they get out and they're not at the gate. They're like outside the gate. They don't, so they park outside the gate. Why would they not go into the gate? I know this is nitpicking, but I'm like, why would you, why would you not just show them going through the gate and then show them exiting to something? I know it's the little things. Then they're having experimentation. He has a lecture about how they can take powers as they change, which is kind of what we've seen in episode 1 because he become like 6 different people. He even become like a little tiny girl. Didn't know that's exactly how this worked. I would think they would need to become things that are proportional, but evidently not. And then we have the credits, and it's basically like we have this nuclear plan. We're going to do this, and all the humans will fight with each other. Basically, is their plan. And then we have the AI credits. And then he goes to a cafe. And he goes to a cafe and he meets this Skrull who is now hot black lady. And he spends most of his time like flirty rather than anything else before he goes home to his wife, who then lectures him about how she knew what she was getting into when she had a relationship with. And by the way, we're going to get through this episode. Think about in the last episode that he when he goes home, he walks in, he puts the ring on. We see she's a Skrull and then becomes the wife. We all presumed that he knows she's a Skrull. Like he married a Skrull. I married a Skrull. How I met a Skrull. Now, after we leave this episode, I'm not sure he knows. Like, is this part of the episode's called Betrayed? Is this part of the foreshadowing of what we're going to get? I don't know. She lectures him because she knew what she was getting when she like got with, I'm going to say married Nick Fury, the spy. And then he got blipped, and that's kind of beyond his control, right? But then he just voluntarily left. And she has this horrible monologuing about finding herself and living with it, and then just mourning he was dead. And then it's like, then I just became me. I become so it's like this narcissism, self-centeredness. She's trying not to say out loud, I'm with Gravik now. That's pretty much what she's saying. You don't even have to read between the lines. You can see his facial reaction. Like, look, Sam Jackson isn't doing a terrible job with what he gets. He's just getting dog crap. And then we cut to this awkward scene where I guess they sleep in cots with actual lockers and busted up blinds that look like a freaking St. Bernard went through the place trying to peek out because, there are blinds at a Dollar General. I'm just saying. Um, and Gravik, he's such a great leader. Look at this hellhole that they are housed in. And she woke up looking like this. So there's no bedhead. She's got makeup and eyeliner. It's just so why do we have to have them waking up? Why can't we just have them doing something else? And again, I know it's nitpicking. A lot of shows do this. It doesn't make it right. It makes it crap. So they're talking, and then they're on a plane because they live like that in the hellhole, but they have access to this private jet, and she's driving these fancy cars. And oh yeah, there was a moment in the last episode where Talos was like, "I got to talk to Gravik. Oh, he's going to kill you. No, call a party. Hey, call a neutral ground." I just don't care. I got to be honest too. Ben Mendelsohn can actually act. Even in Ready Player One, he was way more charismatic and interesting as the antagonist than he is in this show. He literally looks like that shot of him. Like he literally looks like that shot. Like he's half asleep. He kind of looks like almost like a basset hound, cocker spaniel, Springer spaniel, an English spaniel. So he's now English spaniel Talos because that's kind of how he is. He's got this dopey quietness about me. We're gonna talk about my daughter. And you're like, what is wrong with this guy? And of course, he's the over the top racist prejudice. We're going to look at this painting of these white guys. Look at this guy's face right there. Look how racist these people are. They're the leaders in the luxury of their homes while they send out the soldiers. I would rather just bleed on the line. Like he's such a naive, arrogant narcissist. He does not care about other people. He cares because he's on top of the mountain. He wants to seem like he's going to put himself in harm's way. He's the one. Notice he didn't go on the mission in the Navy, right? He was the one that got to push the trigger to create the bombs, but he's not going in harm's way where he could actually get caught, hurt, or otherwise. So they have this conversation. It's just yappity yap. I wish they'd stop talking back. Look at the stupid and the way they cut this. It's so strange because they're shooting over Gravik's left shoulder here. And then they stand up and they have their moment and they reveal that they're all Skrulls. See, this one's caught mid scroll. This lady, and so they can all turn into Gravik. So he knows now he's outnumbered. And then we switch and we start shooting over Gravik's right shoulder. So now they're on opposite sides. And then he kind of like does a stranglehold thing and whatever. It's just I don't know. I just didn't care. I just don't care. It's just no one can be trusted. It's all just nonsense. Gravik's 2 steps ahead of Talos. Talos is like so low T, low energy, and interesting. He walks outside and you have this quick little scene like you dropped your phone thing. And when Gravik comes out, he sees this person run. So watch this old man there right here. He runs. And then when he runs, he's not there anymore. And it's her getting in the car, standing at the car. So we, the audience, knows, and certainly Gravik does too. By the way, pretty nice wheels for people who live in a halfway house. Then they're going to show up at a cafe, and then Nick Fury is going to get lectured again because Talos is going to make him say, "I need your help. I am helpless without you." And it's literally not like, oh, he's going to make him say that. No, he literally says, "I'm going to make you say this," and he does. This is so cringy bad. I don't know if AI wrote this. I'm just going to say Kyle Broadstreet may have started with some dialogue or worked from some dialogue that went through some chat GPT. And then he's in his car. And remember how long ago, how cool Shield Tech was? Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. They're literally like this cheap conversation. There's cell phone tech. This is just them talking, and they make all these comments about impersonating. They got to go. They're going to go interrupt the naval officer person by going right to the house, breaking in, and presumably, I'm just assuming they're just shooting regular security. This guy's a Skrull. I didn't notice that before. Let me see that shot. Okay, so they are turning into Skrulls. I didn't notice that before. But when he comes in, because he called him Nick, he knew that they had switched and Talos was actually in danger. And there's just all this conversation about, what we're going to do and, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, as you can see here on the right, the the Gravik's plan is going forward. Gravik's plan is underway. All of that is actually happening. And they have to get a security code out of this guy to figure that out. But it doesn't work. They shoot him and he dies. This is still going, by the way. This one guy is a Skrull, the one guy is not a Skrull. And then what they do is it's not working, it's not working. I'll talk to him, I'll talk to him. And by the way, this airplane shot, that looks terrible. Sorry. And it doesn't work, and they have to go and they call her. They call Gaia. Gaia is really now the double triple secret probation spy. And she taps into the real human to find out that he would use his son as the memory hole and the password, and that's what gets it off the hook. So we wasted all of this time with him talking and breaking in all this space of time. So this scene starts back around the 25-minute mark, and we are well into the 30s. So we spent over 10 minutes. We spent almost like 20% of the show wasting our time when she could get the password and foil the plan and whatever. But of course, Gravik knows. He tries to run away because the high-tech spies that we have, they're just using regular cell phones. It's so advanced. And then they go to the woods, and then there's the big spoiler ending. I didn't really do a spoiler alert. I don't really care enough. I hope you don't either, because it's like she's she's shot. That's all I'm going to say. She gets shot, and then we cut to the train, and she's there. Just so Nick's wife's running away and wants to talk to Gravik. So if it wasn't super clear for you early on, it should be now. Nick's lectured, at least this time, the women weren't lecturing him as much as mostly the men that were lecturing him. By the way, none of this makes any sense. And keeping everything on the lowdown and the take your time, pace yourself. We have all day to go to meet at the museums and have a conversation over some tea and have a coffee. And I drink bourbon and all this stuff that's so. Oh, we'll get around to stopping a nuclear attack or the million Skrulls or investigating who could be a Skrull. Obviously, War Machine was told he knows. We don't know if he's doing anything to prevent any of this. There's all this reservation about telling anyone about all of this. The stupidity levels are at like 12 and 13 the whole time. This show only works if you take it in this little tiny micro universe that it wants to play in and pretend that none of the rest of the MCU exists. That's the only way the show even lasts for like a little bit of sanity. It's just absurd. Oh, it's so absurd on its face. Yeah. So look, they're not going to delete Amelia Clark from the show. That's not happening. We know it's not happening. Like we know she's in 6 episodes. So that's not happening. Okay. So it's just silly. It's all just I call it a bait and switch of plot. It's bait and switch of intrigue. Right. They want you to think this, but it's not. It's not even a good like 1970s 80s dynasty dash slash Dallas type drama. Love Boat had better drama than that. Come on. Love Boat's better than this. I should watch Love Boat. Nick Fury on Love Boat. Snakes on a boat? Snakes on a love boat. See how my brain operates? It's rough. Should I just give you what you really want? You just really want. I know you guys have said it. I know. I know. I feel you. I feel there are emojis for this thing. So here you go. That's what my head has been like this entire episode. Thanks for watching. I am Pops.
Yeah. Right? And I'm not playing.